Welcome everybody to my presentation of the Deutsche Börse Cloud Exchange Trading Infrastructure as a Service Cloud Resources. And the question how it all began was raised within Deutsche Börse Group. What if Deutsche Börse AG standardized infrastructure as a service products and turned computing power, data storage and memory into a commodity? This got a lot of attention, and last year the Deutsche Börse Cloud Exchange was founded, and it combines and merges the ICT and the financial services industry. You can also see this in the company structure as a joint venture of Simori, a cloud computing company, and the Deutsche Börse AG, the financial services company. And the goal is to create a vendor-neutral marketplace for cloud resources. We've launched a trading platform this year, so it's in a beta phase at the moment. And we have providers of 3 European countries at the moment, and we have consumers from different areas. What does Deutsche Börse Cloud Exchange do? It's basically the first question, what does an exchange do? And it standardizes products and makes these products tradable. It brings together buyers and consumers of these standardized goods and creates a marketplace for these goods. The Deutsche Börse Cloud Exchange uses standardization on all levels. It's from the products to the trading, the payment, the billing, and the settlement, the actual delivery of the resources. And if you talk about standardized products, this is not just the products that are used in the end, that are standardized with the use of benchmarks. It's also the approval process, it is the contracts, all the legal and SLA criteria. If you talk about the trading, it's the trading interface, of course. This is based on the European Energy Exchange trading platform. We have a guaranteed payment. This is all the billing and the payment, so the money flow from the consumer to the provider is standardized. And the settlement, and this is an important thing, it's not just the delivery of the resources, it's also a unified platform for the cloud management in the end. If I go a bit more in detail on the products that can be traded, so we have for the start, the first set of products, compute, memory and storage. This is, let's say, a resource pool where you can execute virtual machines. And each of these can be traded in a fixed end manner. So you have a quantity from a date to a date, or in a pay-as-you-go, or we also call it open end. And you can start the usage immediately, and you can scale in time, and you can scale in quantity. An important parameter is also the governing region, and the governing region is defined by the headquarter of the provider, the data center location, and the location or the locations from where administrative access to the data can be made. At the moment we have 3 governing regions because we have providers from 3 different European countries. The next parameter, the performance class. We start with 1 performance class in each of the assets, compute, memory and storage. And in terms of compute, this is CPU power, and we have defined this with the help of 5 benchmarks, open source benchmarks and corresponding thresholds. So we have LabPack, we have file compression, file compilation, audio and video encoding. And if a provider wants to offer one performance unit is the tradable unit, then all the thresholds we have defined for this one PU have to be met. So this is the thing you buy if you buy one PU. In terms of RAM, the tradable unit is 1 gigabyte, and we have also defined 2 benchmarks for the speed of the RAM. If you reach the speed, you are allowed to sell, as a provider, to sell this memory. And for storage, we have 1 performance class that is defined by IOPS. So we have 90 IOPS per 100 gigabytes. And if you reach these IOPS number, then you're allowed to sell your storage as this. For the SLA, it's called basic, and it's for the start, it's a basic SLA that is derived from current public cloud offers. So we have a guaranteed availability and we have a guaranteed support in terms of support hours. The next slide shows, let's say, a summary of what Deutsche Börse Cloud Exchange is offering, but also shows this settlement software, and this is where it gets technically more interesting. So this is what I showed on the slide of the different standards levels, and the settlement software is used after you initiate the delivery of the resources. So after you click settle, then the resources are delivered to this cloud management software / settlement software, and there is a piece installed at the provider, and there is a piece that can be either installed at the consumer or can be offered as a service from the Deutsche Börse Cloud Exchange. And the provider can attach their cloud stacks, and this can be OpenStack. We support OpenStack natively, or this can be any other stack with some adapter layer, because we have the CMI interface, Cloud Infrastructure Management Interface, standardized by the DMTF, so everybody can use this standard and attach their probably proprietary stacks to this settlement software piece. The consumer uses the cloud management software to be able to use the software, to use the cloud resources, the resource pools, and start virtual machines and manage their virtual machines. If the consumer initiates a settlement from different providers, then in the cloud management software, the consumer sees different resource pools from all the providers, and they can use them and start virtual machines in each of them with the same UI and also with the same API in the end. This API, you can see here, is also based on CMI, so it's again standards based, and yeah, this is also our intention to be neutral and to have, let's say, to be the man in the middle without any vendor lock-in. Probably the last thing on this slide, the contract. This is a standard contract that is agreed beforehand by both the providers and the consumers, and as soon as resources are sold or bought, this contract is agreed by these parties, and it is established between the consumer and the provider side. So it's not transitively over the exchange, it is done between the buyer and seller side. Maybe one word, because we have here cloud providers, brokers, and cloud consumers on both sides. So we think that in the end, it's not a provider side that provides resources and a consumer side that consumes resources. It will be providers and consumers that buy and sell resources. So we have marketplace participants that use resources or that sell resources. That they do buying and selling all the time. So it's kind of a merged participant role in this case. Let's come to what we will do in the future. So the outlook in the 3 dimensions: geographical, cloud products, and financial products. So as I said before, we have started in Europe with a successful beta phase, and we are at the moment also working on the US start. And later on, of course, we think to go to other regions like Asia Pacific, for example. The next and important things that have already started are the expansion of the compute memory and storage, for example, introducing other performance classes. An example could be an HPC product. We also think of application services, that you can have an application provisioned for your virtual machines or as a cluster of virtual machines, and also in terms of network, because this is something that is at the moment missing, and if it comes to more enterprise-like products, then this will be important to have here guaranteed network, for example, guaranteed network bandwidth or latency. And the finance product portfolio, this is something which will come when the spot market is established, and we think of having derivative financial instruments like futures or also indices on these products. Okay, that was my presentation. Thank you very much.